Treaty 1 territory, the traditional home of the Cree, Oji Cree, Dene, Anishinaabe, and Dakota peoples, and the homeland of the River Métis Nation. We thank the people of Shoal Lake 40 Band for the water we draw from their sacred land. And we are grateful for the privilege of performing on this land in the spirit of reconciliation. I'd like to acknowledge some special guests tonight. Member of Parliament Terry Duguid from Winnipeg South. Honorable Andrew Smith, MLA for Manohar, and Blue Bomber alumnus and Liberal candidate Willard Reeves. So we're here to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Manohar Performing Arts in Winnipeg. Tonight marks the inaugural event in a series of concerts that is Manohar Fest. From its inception in 1993, Manohar has become a pillar of the Winnipeg dance community, having performed over 25 productions, which have touched on many important artistic and social themes. We celebrate the vision, technical expertise, and boundless dedication of all of the artists involved in this remarkable ongoing project. Manohar Fest has been made possible by grants from the Federal Department of Heritage and from the Provincial Ministry of Sport, Culture and Heritage. We would also like to thank our corporate sponsor, Charisma of India. One housekeeping item: if anyone needs to step out for any reason during the show, if we can ask if they can head out here and turn left. There's a long hallway towards the exit there, which leads you out where the lobby and the washrooms are. Be very careful, it's dark and there are some electrical cords there. Okay. I would now like to invite to the stage Terry Duguid, Member of Parliament for Winnipeg South and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, to bring greetings from the Government of Canada.
Well, thanks, Doug. It's wonderful to see so many friends tonight. A few folks I haven't seen in a little while, and let me just start with a very hearty, happy 30th anniversary to the Manohar Performing Arts, and congratulations on achieving this incredible milestone. And I want to really just thank from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the community and the federal government, Manohar Performing Arts, for really all that you have done to enrich the culture and art scene here in Winnipeg and in Manitoba, and to bring a little piece of Indian culture to this beautiful community of ours. Doug mentioned that Heritage Canada has been a supporter, and we will continue to be. You had your own in-house lobbyist there for quite a while, but I know Heritage Canada was very, very important to Manohar during the pandemic, particularly. A really, really difficult time for the arts community, and we were very, very proud not only to support you, but to support the very vibrant art scene we have here in Winnipeg. I think we have the most arts and culture per square meter in the entire country. We're very proud of that as a community, but we're certainly wonderful. We're certainly very, very happy that Manohar and other arts organizations came out to the other side. I'm not going to make a long speech tonight. I'd like to, like all of you, get to the performances, but there's someone who was very dear to me and dear to so many of you who's not here tonight, and of course that's Dr. Dakshinamurti. Dr. Dakshi, he had a number, I learned a new name tonight, Dakshina, which he was called back home in Tamil Nadu, but I think you join me in feeling, a little piece of our heart is missing tonight. But of course, it's wonderful to see Ganga, Somya, Shamla, and son-in-law Dr. Doug, who I hope will be my colleague again in the House of Commons. But I know they miss him more than we do, and I'm certainly thinking of him tonight. So a big thank you to the performers and the organizers. I'm a little disappointed I won't see Somya and Shamla dancing tonight. They're putting their feet up tonight, but they've been behind the scenes organizing this, but I'm looking forward to a really wonderful performance, and it's great to see so many friends here tonight. So God bless you all, and I look forward to the performances.
Tremendous honor to be here tonight. On behalf of all my colleagues in the Manitoba Legislature, and of course our Premier Heather Stephenson. Again, very happy congratulations on your 30th anniversary for Manohar School of Dance. It's 30 years, and you think how much has changed in Winnipeg over that time, but you've been able to continue the cultural traditions and entrench them here in our city, in our province. So it's made our province that much better. So thank you. Survived through a very tough time, the pandemic. And we know that MP Duguid had talked about some of the supports through the pandemic, and of course, after the pandemic, the provincial government understood, and at the time I was the provincial Minister of Sport, Culture, Heritage. We thought that it's very important to be able to give some life back into the arts, culture, and sports communities here in the province, particularly after COVID, where, yes, the rest of the world has opened up, but there's a lot of parts of the arts and culture community who have continued to struggle. So we put $100 million aside for that. There were 2 intakes, 1 intake, and I'm proud to say that the Manohar School of Dance received $25,000 through the province of Manitoba. I know that I think how important it is to see this coming to fruition and seeing the 30th anniversary being celebrated here in front of everybody. That looks like we're right back to where we were before the pandemic, and so happy to see that. And again, my condolences again, of course, to Dr. Dak and his passing last year, but we know that this continuation not only continues the arts and the culture side of our community, but it also certainly does in memory of those who came before us and those who contributed so much to our city and our province. And I think to see this continue on today does just that. So in memory of Dr. Dak, and of course, thank you so much for the invitation this evening. Looking forward to a wonderful show, and I appreciate the tenacity of the group who organized this, because it's been a tough go for the last few years. Congratulations on 30 successful years.
With the artist. And now, to introduce the artist and give us some of his background, it gives me pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Jeffrey Ridgestone.
Thank you. May the energy radiating from the beloved Ganesha grant success and wisdom to the devotion and meaning of this traditional Indian classical program. Namaste, bonjour. I am Jeff Ridgestone. I am very pleased to be the narrator for JAYDEV's program. It was a Manohar co-production in the summer of 2017 that I saw JAYDEV dance Bharatanatyam on a professional stage with Shamla and Somya Dakshinamurti in Ottawa. Hardly into a year, our relationship blossomed, and lo behold, I have been lucky to deeply connect to Indian art, culture, and community through the lens of a Bharatanatyam dancer. Let me tell you, it's not always glitter and glamour. That was something written by JAYDEV. Of course, I wouldn't go that far, but keep that in mind. Some housekeeping rules. Please turn off your devices, cell phones, or put them on silent mode, and avoid flash photography. Quelques règles de régie interne. Veuillez éteindre vos appareils cellulaires ou les mettre en mode silencieux et éviter les photos en flash. Je suis heureux d'informer notre public francophone que je ferai mon mieux de vous fournir une sommaire du programme en français. Et j'aimerais aussi ajouter que la compagnie Manohar aimerait reconnaître et respecter ce lieu de culture franco-manitobaine. Bharatanatyam is an Indian classical performing art form, ancient in origin, evolving from Hindu philosophies, mythologies, and royal patronage into its contemporary and popular form. The stylized technique in Bharatanatyam is noted for its rules and degrees of precision through 3 essential elements: movement, expression, and mime or drama. The program refers to the word MARGAM, which literally means path. The path of performance in Bharatanatyam provides the dancer to explore 1, physicality depicted by pure movements, 2, mental and emotional interpretations through refined expressions. And 3, simple to complex, human situational enactments or drama. This evening, JAYDEV presents a hand-picked selection of songs and poetry, including those that are deeply connected to Manohar Performing Arts of Canada. Ce soir, JAYDEV présente une sélection de chansons et de poèmes triés sur le volet, dont certains sont profondément liés à Manohar. We start today with poetry. Poetry means praise in Tamil. The poem is written by a 20th century modern Tamil poet, Kannadasan, for the Tamil movie Karnan, which is based on a mythological story from the Mahabharata. Poetry is a tribute to the glory of the sun. The choreography is an invocation to the sun, beginning with the sun salutation, a cleansing bath, gesticulations to follow the poetry in praise of the glorious sun, and gracing the occasion with the customary Bharatanatyam obeisance. Choreographed by JAYDEV. Interesting, the tune to poetry has been reset from its original version by Kalamanani Balusai to the melodic scale or RAJU called Chakra Vakam, and set to the rhythmic cycle of 8 beats or Adi Talam. Poterie ou louange est un hommage à la gloire du soleil, écrit pour le film Tamil Karnan. L'invocation au soleil commence par une salutation yogique au soleil, un bain purificateur, des gesticulations de louange et de l'obéissance habituelle. Ô soleil, Seigneur de l'univers, c'est votre grandeur que nous louons. Tant que cette terre existera, on louera et chantera ta gloire. Poterie, poterie. Initiated in India in 1976 by the legendary Dr. Padma Subramanian into Bharatanatyam, JAYDEV pursued training under many inspiring gurus. Moving to Canada in 1999, he made his artistic debut as a performer in Winnipeg with Manohar Performing Arts of Canada. Happily now settled in Ottawa with a parallel career as a federal scientist working on food safety and toxicology, Dr. JAYDEV RAJU has been involved as a freelance Bharatanatyam artist participating in arts, culture, and community events and festivals. We move now to the first technical element of this evening's repertoire, the alaripu. Alaripu means blossoming flower in Tamil. It's a dance structured to represent a blossoming flower. The typical alaripu movements allow the body to gradually blossom and open up, bringing in the aspect of consciousness into the physicality of the dance. A stotram, on the other hand, is a devotional hymn in Hindu spirituality. JAYDEV presents a unique choreography that uses the traditional alaripu movements in gradually warming up the body, while simultaneously exploring the iconic Shiva Pancha Akashara Stotram. This hymn in the Sanskrit language, written by Adi Shankar Acharya in the 8th century, gives an understanding of the 5 universal elements of earth, water, fire, air, and space that personify Shiva. Namah Shivaya is thus a spiritual philosophy to understand the universality of the 5 elements of life, symbolized by Shiva, the Lord of the cosmic dance. Le Shiva Pankashara Stotram est une obéissance dévotionnelle, utilisant 5 lettres, Namah Shivaya, dans laquelle Shiva est personnifié comme les 5 éléments universels, la terre, l'eau, le feu, l'air et l'éther. Alaripu, l'épanouissement de la fleur, est une danse structurée pour permettre au corps de s'ouvrir progressivement, comme une fleur qui s'épanouit et dont la conscience émerge. Cette chorégraphie utilise les mouvements traditionnels de l'alaripu pour représenter l'ouverture des 5 enceintes. who is depicted as the mightiest and the most benevolent being. The choreography has 3 mono-act sequences, drawing upon incidents depicting Rama's virtues of empathy, care, compassion, and liberation. JAYDEV has chosen to tell the stories of 3 minor characters in different subplots of the Ramayana. The first depicts the liberation of the monkey king, Sugriva, from his tyrannical brother. Lord Rama defeats the insolent brother and brings peace to the monkey kingdom. The second mono-act portrays the liberation of the maiden Ahalya, cursed to be stone-like by her husband who suspects infidelity. Lord Rama rescues the maiden from the curse and restores her esteem. The third mono-act refers to the story of the elder Shabari. This frail elder, an ardent devotee of Lord Rama, routinely picked fruits fallen from the tree in the hope to offer them to her beloved Lord Rama.
Before I give any thoughts on that, I want to congratulate the exceptional achievement of JAYDEV. What a show he's putting on for us tonight. I've known JAYDEV and watched him dance since 1999, and it is so beautiful to watch his evolving virtuosity in this classical form, which is so hard won. Each muscle and each fiber and each posture and position won by sweat and tears. And what I find delightful is, did you look at the number of choreographers that he has cited in this program? The intellectual curiosity it takes for him to, before I met him and since I've met him, seek out gurus of different styles, different modes and flavors of expression so that he can learn each of them and present for you this selection of choreographies, some by himself and some by all of the people who have influenced him. I am so delighted to see this on stage. Now, 30 years of Manohar, there are not too many dance companies that have been around for 30 years. This is 30 years as a collective, creating together, piecing dance together, coming up with stories together, and then realizing them together. And something like this, a company in which we have had more than 100 dancers over these 30 years dance with us, that does not exist without the support of the community and of all of you. So if there are any thanks to be given and recognition to be given, it's to our community, to whom we have had the privilege of telling our own stories. So thank you to all of you. I would like to also particularly acknowledge 2 women whose who have been holding us in their hands for 30 years. And those are the coordinator of Manohar Performing Arts, Ganga Dakshinamurthy, and the artistic director, Usha Sharma, Ushanti. That we are still here is a testament to your vision. There's also one other person whose vision Manohar was, and his absence is very much felt tonight, and that's my father. Thank you, Appa, for telling us that this was possible and believing in Manohar. We're celebrating 30 years together. There are 3 programs that Manohar is presenting over this summer, of which MARGAM is the first. And I invite you to look at the back of your program, and all of the programs that we will be presenting over this summer are captured there, as well as Manohar's own 30th anniversary show in November. We would love to see you at all of these. And it is our privilege to have JAYDEV presenting here as the first show of this series that allows us to see the classical form in its, this is dance in an old school. This is the music, the steps, and the choreography, taking us back to how Bharatanatyam was originally presented and how it continues to be presented in the precincts of classical art in India and also here in Canada. And for that, presenting dance like this here in Canada, we are appreciative of the generous support of all levels of government. And Manohar Performing Arts has received grants from the Winnipeg Arts Council, City of Winnipeg, from Arts, Culture and Sport in Community grant program, and that is the Manitoba Ministry of Sport, Culture and Heritage, and also the Canadian Arts Presenter Fund, which is the Department of Canadian Heritage. There's something that I take out of this. Bharatanatyam is a Canadian art form. It grew here, it has flourished here, and it presents stories of us to us. We are as Canadian as Poutine, we are as Canadian as Saskatoon berries, and we're as Canadian as the ballet, come on. This is our heritage, but it's also Canadian heritage. Nous sommes chez nous. And in our ability to present these art forms here in Winnipeg, it's a testament to the support from government, and it's also a testament to the support from community. This doesn't just happen. I'd like to take this opportunity to, while we are still continuing the program, and since I get to be on here for the moment, thank JAYDEV for the profusion of art that we get to see tonight. I would like to thank musician and composer Kalemamani Balasai for the lovely music we've been hearing. It's a treat to hear. I'd like to thank our narrator, Jeffrey Richstone, for walking us through what the art means and also for connecting us to the French language, which here in the heart of French Winnipeg and Théâtre Sainte-Molière, this is the heart of the French language here. Thank you for allowing us to place this art in this place. And to that, I'd like to thank also the TCM crew, Keith up in the lighting booth and Harper up in the house. I also would want to thank Shivani Sharma for all of her support backstage, and the very dear volunteers of Manohar, and I see you all here, that creating a show after 3 years of pandemic, inviting you all into our house and having you feel like we're all a community again. This is hard one. And it takes time, and it takes you. So thank you for 30 years of that. Even though we've had quiet bells for 3 years, let's hear them loud again. And with that, I'm going back to JAYDEV on stage and Jeffrey at the podium.
చిటికి వేసితే నీ వంటి చెలులు 1,10,000 చిటికి వేసితే నీ వంటి చెలులు 1,10,000 చిటికి వేసితే నీ వంటి చెలులు 1,10,000 నా పేరు చిటికి వేసితే నీ వంటి చెలులు 1,10,000 వెతుకులాడి ఎడవనుకున్నావో వేణుగోపాలుడు నా పేరు అందగత్తేవనుచు వలచినందుకే అలవి కోగిటను చేసేవా అందగత్తేవనుచు వలచినందుకే అలవి కోగిటను చేసేవా.
Of rhythmic segments with a short verse. The verse in this dance describes the omnipresent grace of the goddess of the three worlds. This Tilana is a tribute to JAYDEV's mentor and childhood friend Induvadana Mali, the daughter of the legendary guru, the late Adyar Lakshman. The Tilana is set to the RAJU Hamsanandi in Adi Talam and choreographed by Induvadana. Une tilana évoque une mode de célébration, la raison même d'apprécier la danse et de célébrer la joie de la danse. Le mouvement vif et rythmé est couronné par un court vers. bhajan written by Kabir, a 15th century mystic revered and followed by devotees of both the Hindu and Islamic faiths. Kabir's philosophy of agnostic spirituality converged interfaith elements in understanding God as a non-dual entity. Bhakti Rasa, or the essence of devotional love, portrayed through nuanced movements, is a hallmark of Bharatanatyam performance. Kabir's song provides a deep spiritual context to explore devotional love in dance. Le bhajan est une forme de poésie dévotionnelle. Hamam Hein Ishq Mastana a été écrit par Kabir, un mystique du XVe siècle, dont la philosophie de la spiritualité fait fusionner des éléments interconfessionnels dans sa compréhension de MARGAM repertoire concludes traditionally with Mangalam as a benevolent gesture to the sacredness of the performance. This instrumental piece was arranged by Kalamamani Palasai for Manohar Performing Arts of Canada. The inclusion of this music is a tribute to this company for the deep sense of artistic rooting it provides to performing artists. The music for this Kabir song is the result of ongoing collaboration between Manohar's principal musicians, Kalamamani Palasai of the Carnatic tradition, and Sri Sudhir Narayan in the Hindustani tradition.
That was truly wonderful. That was inspirational. And thank you, Jeffrey, for your wonderful narration and helping to put the context for those of us who don't understand all of this and making it just that much more meaningful. This has been a very special night for everyone. We have limited time here tonight, so I think we'll have to forego the Q&A, but we would like to just Thank you again for this wonderful performance and for coming all the way out here to share your gifts with us tonight. So this concludes tonight's celebration. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and for all their hard work in helping this happen. Drive safely. Namaste.
Yeah, basically you are Winnipeggers and right now you are in Ottawa.
Yes, I started my life in Canada in Winnipeg, so this is my first home, and now it's been 24 years since coming to Canada, Winnipeg being the first, and now I'm settled in Ottawa for about 17 years.
And this is your profession or your...
No, I'm principally a research scientist, a federal scientist working on food safety and toxicology, and the other passion is Bharatanatyam, but Bharatanatyam came first in my life, and science came just slightly later, but now it's all integrated.
Why did you choose Bharatanatyam? You are basically from Tamil?
Bharatanatyam because I grew up in Adayar, which is a seat of Bharatanatyam, I would say, and I happen to be a neighbor of a very well-renowned Bharatanatyam guru, Guru Padma Subramaniam, and it was natural that I started dancing and my parents put me there and it was my passion, and then beyond that, science also came in, and then I did my PhD in Delhi, and then came here for my work in Canada.
Yeah, we really enjoyed your...
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for coming here.
Yes.
And thanks for talking to Voice of India.
Thank you so much for the opportunity from Voice of India.
You are
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really enjoyed this Bharatanatyam today, and hopefully everyone who is here enjoyed too. What is your opinion?
Well, it's a wonderful setting. It's a very intimate kind of theater. The people here mostly were devotees of Bharatanatyam, and you could tell the way they appreciated it. I think for me, apart from the dancing, which of course I felt was wonderful, the music was superb. And the music and the dance both fused together into a very inspiring piece of work and performance, I felt.
Yeah, I was thinking the artist is a professional, but he told me that he have a passion and his profession is different.
Well, he has two professions. He has this one, which he loves, and he's a research scientist. So I say he's a research scientist by day and a dancer, a Bharatanatyam dancer by night.
Yeah.
So he has these two tracks, and they're parallel, and they mean a lot to him. I think Bharatanatyam means more to him than research science, quite frankly, because it inspires him and it makes him a very happy guy, and he just loves this. He's been doing this ever since he was a child.
Yeah, and it's our proud that he's basically Winnipegger, and when he came Canada, he started his life, Canadian life from Winnipeg.
Could you imagine? He comes from a place like Chennai, which the weather is about 30 to 40 at times, and he comes here and it's minus 30 and 40. And he loved Winnipeg. He loved being here. He loved the cultural scene. He loved the community. It made a huge difference to him. And I'm very proud, as a Canadian, that this was his first port of call, I must say.
What is your message to the community?
To the community is keep up the wonderful work. This is a very special place. Everybody knows that Winnipeg produces some of the finest examples of art and culture in the country, and you should be proud of what you do.
Yeah. Thank you very much for talking to Voice of India.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Take care.
First of all, congratulations for your successful event tonight. And we really enjoyed. We were at the back seat and enjoyed every moment of this event.
I'm really happy to know that.
And as an organizer, what is your opinion?
Well, certainly he did, they are so close to me. I see to it that I congratulate them if they did a good job. And I definitely feel he did a magnificent job, because this, as you notice, is a strong dance. That means it takes so much out of you. You have to have the stamina and also the memory.
Yeah.
You have to have every nuance
moment,
of the movement and the expression. Just because your body is aching here or there, or you are breathless, nothing, no, the teacher would say no omission, no commission kind of thing, you know. So that is the way they have to be, no matter what. The eyebrows should lift no matter how tired you are. The eyes should look the direction you need to go. The body, the whole dance is to be put together with every part of the body and the mind. You cannot express the meaning connected with that unless your mind is there. So and the dance itself will say, where the hands go, the eyes should go. That kind of combination of the various parts of the body is fundamental to this kind of traditional dance.
As you are celebrating your 30th anniversary of Manohar Art Performing Center in Canada.
Manohar Performing Arts of Canada, yeah.
And this is your second?
This is, well, actually we had a dinner at Charisma to let the world know this is what we are doing, and he very generously, both Hasmita and Trivedi of Charisma, sponsored that event so that we would be able to hold that. And several, as you heard, we have been receiving support to enable all these dancers to come and have this in this hall. This would be, from a performance point of view, this would be the first one. And then coming up is Kathak classical dance from North India. That's an entirely different dance style, at the same time coming from the same rule book, Bharata Shastra. So how the same rule book can give you Bharatanatyam like this, and then you will see how Kathak is. That's another beautiful dance form, a classical dance from India. And then after that, it so happened because that particular dance involves live music, so musicians from India would come. So we thought that should be an excellent opportunity for us to have classical music. And the best part is, these individuals, these musicians are from Bangalore, a place where you actually have the North and South music celebrated there. So that day you're going to have both traditional South Indian music and North Indian music presented in such a way that you can appreciate the differences as well as the similarities of the music.
Thank you very much for your information, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Best wishes for your upcoming event.
Definitely. I'm hoping finally, final one, fourth one, the show from Manohar will be reflective of all that we have learned.
Thank you very much for talking to Voice of India.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.